Hi Archana. So, okay. So, today I'm here to speak about Brene Brown's work. So, have you guys heard about Brene Brown? Okay, Lavina, yeah. So my name is Smita, and I'm a chartered accountant. I work with a bank, and I'm an author as well, and a dancer, and also I'm a founder of a life skill education social initiative called Nimitan. So, and I'm also a book lover. I read a lot of books, and you're right. So Brene Brown has a podcast as well. So today we'll be talking about Brene Brown. Why have I taken this topic is because I just love her work. So Brene Brown is also known not only known as a very good author, but she's a good storyteller and a courage builder. And she's also a, if you know about if you've read about a little bit about her, yeah, you're right, Rajesh. There's a TED talk about her as well. So there was a TED talk in 2010 about vulnerability, and that became very famous. And I think it's one of the most popular YouTube video among the top most five videos viewed everywhere. So yeah. So any guesses about Brene? Where is Brene Brown now? She's an account. She's a research professor basically, and she's done some research on very different subjects as such. Any guesses of the subjects? Anyone who can guess it? She's a lecturer in the University of Houston, Texas, basically. And the topic she's researched on is very interesting topics. She's done a research. One is empathy, one is vulnerability, one is courage, and the other one is shame. And these are the four kind of words which we normally don't hear about it. Yeah, that's right, Archana. Shame is there. And it's very interesting to know that she tries to learn from human experiences, emotional connects, and emotional experiences of people as well. She says that emotions are very important, and being authentic and being human is very much the need of the hour. Like people try to build coding skills, but the skills which is needed for digital transformation is not only coding or understanding the digital world all around. It's also the human aspect, that is the courage skill. So people should what do you call understand the vulnerability and understand what is going around the human side as well, which is very important. So why I like Brene Brown's work basically is one of the three takeaways I'll tell you from Brene Brown's work is basically that to choose over courage over comfort, coming out of your comfort zone and trying doing different things. And second thing is being brave enough to try out new things. By what that I mean is experimenting with new stuff. Basically, try out new things. Whatever you feel like doing it, give it a try. It's and age is not a barrier there. So you should explore life, experience life, and celebrate life in such a way. So and another thing is that you have to take care of yourself first. You can't, neglect yourself. So you have to take care of yourself first. That is, your self care is important. So these are the three things which I take away from Brene Brown's work, and there are a lot of books she's written. So latest book which she's written is about Atlas of the Heart. So I'm just going through her work basically so that you get an idea as to what kind of book she has written about, and in case something is of your interest you can read about it as well. So it will bring you close to yourself, your human emotions, and also it will help you interact with the people around you basically. So you'll start looking at people from a different perspective. That's what I can tell you from Brenny's work basically. And so for me, what I like about her work is about the topic of vulnerability, and the book name which I like about her is, which she's written, is Dare to Lead. So yeah, so before I come down to all of these things, she does podcast as well. So there's a podcast called Dare to Lead, and there is a podcast called Unlocking Us. So I think Unlocking Us is right now live. So you can, if you want to listen to those podcasts, you can do that. And Unlocking Us is about conversation with people. So what she tries to do is uh, she brings out the human part in the people who are there. So whatever is human in us, she want us to come out with that factor, so that we can actually live our life, love our life, and lead and parent our life with a lot of courage and a lot of heart in it. So that's what this podcast is all about. And I think someone mentioned about the TED Talks. Yes, Rajesh, the TED Talk was about vulnerability. And what she tells about vulnerability is that it is a core and the heart and the center of human experiences. So people, for example, if you're going for a yoga classes, imagine करो फर्स्ट टाइम अगर आप योगा क्लास के लिए जाते हो तो वहां पे कोई एक्सपीरियंस बंदा बैठा होगा और आप जाके देखोगे कि वो बहुत अच्छे से आसन कर पाता है एंड यू आर नॉट एबल टू डू इट. सो दैट you become vulnerable there कि यार मैं उसके जैसा कब कर पाऊंगा. With the courage to fight your own fear and also कि whether I'll be judged by others or not is a form of vulnerability only. So when we overcome our fear and we overcome what other people think about us, we're able to move ahead and do different stuff or try out new things in life as well. So that's why vulnerability is very important. So and one of the first the I told you about Atlas of the Heart is the latest book she's written. That is in 2021. It came out last year. It's there in Amazon as well, and it's basically about meaningful conversations and the language of human experiences. She talks about 87 emotions about there, and it's beautifully written. Basically, that book, and it also talks about what it means to be a human, and it gives us the tools by which we can experience meaningful connection through those emotions and human experiences. And it talks about the language of emotions basically. And one of my favorite quote of Brene Brown is like, "Stay awkward, brave and kind." So that means you be yourself, be authentic, true to yourself. That's more important. That's how life should be. That's what she keeps saying. So that is one of the quote which is always there on my board. That be awkward, stay the way you are, not change for anybody else. And one of the books she's written is about daring greatly. So daring greatly is nothing but tells you about to be letting ourselves be being out the way we are basically, and never feel. Sometimes we feel we are not enough. Just come out of that feeling. That's what the book talks about. So if somebody feels that we are not enough, that is not the case. It should be basically you should be there the way you are. So that जो conditioning है, ये जो upbringing है, जो which makes us, the society or people around us makes us feel low, we should not be bothered by all of these things, and we should be, because that is what our USP is, our uniqueness is, that what we are, what we bring to the table as we are. And the next book I'll talk about is Rising Strong. And Rising Strong is that coming out of your failures. हम कहते हैं बचपन, we talk about our childhood stories, we talk about traumas, we talk about failures, but how to come out of it, how to rise above all those circumstances is what she talks about in that book. And and the practicality of these two books, that is your Rising Strongly and the Daring Greatly, is transformed into Dare to Lead in more of a practical examples के साथ. It's been written there about vulnerability and how you rumble with vulnerability and all. So these are the kind of topics and discussions she's written about books. And what she tells us ki whatever we go through, the bad things we go through, it also makes us. So there is in every struggle, in every negativity what we go through, there is a positivity, and we are learning something new out of it. So हमें अपने struggle से, अपने negativity से, अपने failure से भागना नहीं चाहिए. We should face them. And we should not sometimes we feel that there are no answers to a lot of questions, but yeah, हमें कुछ मालूम, if we are getting into something new, we do not have any answers to it. But the thing is, it's okay to not know anything, but once you start asking those questions, relevant questions to relevant people, and your answer starts coming and you start figuring it out. So वो रास्ता खुद ही बन जाता है. So जो उससे पहली बार कोई रास्ते पे चलता है, it's not that they know the way altogether. So it's चलते चलते हमें रास्ता बन जाता है and people start following you. So one of the book which I can recommend here is Dare to Lead. It's all about vulnerability. It talks about leadership as well. So हम कहते हैं कि leaders हैं, सब कुछ सारे answers leaders को आने चाहिए. Sometimes leaders do not know, they don't have answers also कि आगे क्या होने वाला है. They may be seeing a downfall of the organization also. They may not be knowing all the answers, but when they're leading, they don't show that they don't know about it. They are vulnerable at that moment कि हमें कुछ पता नहीं है, लेकिन वो with time, with the right questions, with the right set of people around them, they know that they will navigate and get the answers there. So that's the beauty about dealing with vulnerability, and Dare to Lead talks about it basically. And there is another book which is written with co-authored with Tarana Burake, and it is all about the lives of blacks. Basically, क्या experience हुआ, क्या shame, actually what shame means for black people. That is also beautifully written, and it's it's what they go through basically कि उनको कि they've been let down or shot down. Those are the things which is talked about in that particular book, and the lives of blacks and the impact it brings or has on the people as well. The mind basically on the mental health as well, because that's where the emotions and human experiences are impacted. और हम उस basis पे एक image या एक perspective create करते हैं. And also another thing I'll talk about is a very nice book is Gift of Imperfection. So हम क्या सोचते हैं कि हमें perfect होना चाहिए हर चीज में, everything needs to be picture perfect, or you should only see positive in people. You should so what she talks about in that particular book is my story matter, and because I matter, so everything I do matters. So चाहे मैं कुछ भी करूँ वो matter करता है, चाहे मैं so that's for a change to happen, even one person can bring the change. So that's why that book is all about accepting your flaws and being authentic to yourself. Whether you're messy, whether you're going through a heartbreak, whether you are going through, you're having a joyful life, you are leading a graceful life, be on the street as you are. So being comfortable with your flaws basically. ठीक है, अगर आप फिश को बोलोगे जाके पेट चढ़ने को, तो पेट तो नहीं चढ़ सकता फिश. It's the same thing. Everybody has their own pluses and their own minuses, and accepting it and moving ahead. So whatever you're good at, deal with that. If you're not good at that, it's okay. So सब लोग सब चीजों में अच्छे नहीं हो सकते, और try out, try करने में try करके fail is better than not trying at all. So that's what I also say. करके fail होने से तो better है rather than try ना करना. So and there is one interesting book what she wrote about when she was writing her first book, and the first book was about, I thought it was just me. So it is also talks about women basically. Women go through a lot of yeah. So that sometimes failing is hard though. Yes, but every failing will teach you क्या कहते हैं, a lesson basically. There's a positivity in everything which we go through. So what I will say is whatever happens for good. So yeah, painful hai, I don't say it's not painful. Main thing is to deal with pain. I'll tell you one thing, ki accept karo. Once you start accepting what has happened to you, automatically your brain starts thinking differently, because the moment you don't accept it, it is more hurtful and more painful basically. So, जैसे मान लोगे कि यार हाँ गलत है या मेरे साथ ये हो चुका है, ये you have to accept it. Once you accept it, you will start try to move on, let go of it basically. So basically you should forgive and forget basically, but the lesson is there that you should keep up, that you should remember always. So yeah. एंड एक और चीज है कि एक और बुक इंटरेस्टिंग बुक जो उसने उन्होंने लिखी थी, इट्स अबाउट ब्रेवरी विद वाइल्डनेस. सो इट्स अबाउट सॉलिट्यूड बेसिकली. सो यू शुड एंजॉय योर सॉलिट्यूड एज वेल. बीइंग अलोन इज आल्सो इट टेक्स लॉट ऑफ करेज टू बी अलोन. So she talks about that as well. And people want people around us. We want groups, we want friends, we want we are all what do you call social animals. So we want a lot of people around us basically. But you should be able to enjoy your solitude as well. So if you're alone, if you want to spend, I mean, you should be your friend as well. Spend time with yourself to know what you like and what you don't like basically. Then only if you don't love yourself, nobody else can love you. So that's also an important book, which is an interesting one, which talks about solitude, because जब COVID हुआ था, people were at home, lockdown चल रहा था, people were all at home and staying alone, cut off from their families, and also बहुत I mean people have gone through their depression, mental health issues भी आए होंगे लोगों को, but that's what I've heard in my circle as well. So what matters there is that you are not enjoying your own company. Once you start enjoying your own company, you will look at things which will give you which you enjoy basically, rather than looking at what is missing in your life. So the focus should be what you can give to people, what you can make best use of people. I mean what you can, I mean अपना passion कौन सा follow कर सकते हो जब भी time मिले. Spending time with yourself, understanding what you want to learn more. And if you will be a learner throughout the life, then so every situation you will find some कुछ ना कुछ तो निकाल ही लोगे, कुछ ना कुछ तो तोड़ निकालोगे, and time का अच्छा utilization हो जाएगा. So you have to take out time for your passion basically, whether it's reading, so reading hai, music hai, dance hai, whatever is your passion, travel. That's how you can celebrate life, because life is only, you get life once, so matlab you live once basically. So every day it's it's a miracle that every day you are able to see that day basically, and you are able to breathe. And when every morning it's you should be grateful for each morning that you've got another 24 hours to spend, because बहुत लोगों को ये privilege नहीं मिलता है. So you should seize the day कहते हैं, enjoy your day, do what feels good basically. So these were the books which I can talk about, and then I want to talk about this interesting, which is my favorite, that is your Dare to Lead. And Dare to Lead is a very important book because it talks about leadership as well. It talks about tough conversation as well, and also it talks about a lot of bravery work. Because I had told you earlier in the initial discussion as well that कि जो लीडर्स होते हैं हम यही सोचते हैं कि लीडर्स को सारे के सारे आंसर्स आते हैं, सो दे you can't what they do is they don't avoid those difficult conversations, difficult situations को avoid नहीं करते, they face it knowing that they may not have the answers, they knowing that they may fail at giving you the right answers, but when people go and face a difficult situation automatically रास्ता निकल आता है. So that's asking the right questions. If you do not know anything, उसको छोड़ने की जरूरत नहीं है. By asking right questions, you get into the right frame of mind and right रास्ते खुल जाते हैं basically. So when you're positive and you start asking right questions, law of attraction भी यही बोलता है कि so हर चीज खुल जाते हैं, रास्ते खुल जाते हैं, positive things start happening. For example, I am in a project field, so मेरे लिए हर दिन नया होता है, हर दिन नया challenges आता है, तो मेरे को सबके answers नहीं पता होते हैं. Like, the thing is, the moment I start asking questions to the right people, so automatically it opens up, the venue opens up, and people start giving me right answers or guide me to the right person. So ढूंढते ढूंढते कहीं ना कहीं आप पहुंच जाते हो और आपको correct solutions मिल जाता है. So that is how you learn to navigate through life. So that is what Dare to Lead does. Helps you to, it gives you tools to navigate through your life, and you become you try to become true to yourself, and you आप अपने आप को छुपाते हैं, कह रहे मुझे नहीं आता. इसमें कोई शर्माने की बात नहीं कि मुझे नहीं आता मैं सीख सकती हूँ, so I can learn. So that is the attitude that one person should learn, and that is what I have learned from Brene Brown's work as well, that even if I don't know anything, I don't feel bad about it, or I don't feel negative or let down by that fact that I don't know this. I will learn it. With time I will learn it. किसी को 10 दिन में सीखने को मिलता है, किसी को एक दिन में मिल जाता है, किसी को एक साल लग जाते हैं, but at the end of the day I will make sure I tried learning it. That what happens basically. And also that the connection with people should be empathetic. So हमको ज़्यादातर what we do is कि we sympathize with people, we get attached to people. Instead of that, if you're empathetic and if you're a good listener, then it helps you to lead a lot of things in a very positive manner, because you can give advice without being attached to the situation as well. So और कहते हैं कि there is no innovations without failure. So failures होंगे, failures से डर के भाग के कोई फायदा नहीं है, because फेलियर्स ही आपको एक नया जरिया दिखाता है या कुछ नई चीज करने को निकलता है. कोई इनोवेशन चीजें ऐसी ही होती है, अदरवाइज नहीं होगी. अगर आप फेल नहीं होगे तो कोई इनोवेशंस नहीं हो सकती. So that's why I say कि innovations, failures are very important because they lead you. हाँ, failures बहुत painful होते हैं, hurtful होते हैं, but at the end क्या करते हैं वो आपको एक अच्छी चीज की तरफ लेके ही जाते हैं, एक डायरेक्शन देते हैं कि क्या नहीं, एटलीस्ट फ्रॉम योर फेलियर यू एटलीस्ट गेट टू नो क्या नहीं करना चाहिए. दैट्स व्हाट आई टेल पीपल दैट अरे इसमें फेल हो गए, अब तो पता चल गया नहीं करना नहीं चाहिए, गलत है, आगे कुछ अच्छा कर लोगे. तो वो भी पता होना कि क्या नहीं करना चाहिए इज आल्सो लर्निंग बेसिकली. सो दैट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. And if you can watch the TED Talk of Vulnerability by Brene Brown, it's really nice, and it's not a big video, it's around 30 minutes से ज़्यादा है नहीं. What she says is कि vulnerability का मतलब यही है कि it is core, heart, and the center of all the human experiences. So it is, if people judge us और हम अपने ही fear में रहते हैं कि लोग क्या कहेंगे या हमने कुछ गलती कर लिया तो क्या होगा. So if we come out of this mind frame only, then only we can proceed further and try out new things. So that's what is basically being vulnerable is not something which is a wrong thing. So I also used to think that being vulnerable, being your own, showing your own emotions गलत है, because उससे लोगों को अपनी वीकनेस पता चल जाएगी. बट इट इज नॉट दैट. इट्स नॉट ओनली अबाउट वीकनेस. टेलिंग देम दैट in spite of you being vulnerable, you can navigate and move ahead in life. So that's very important. It tells you that you are human. So कहते हैं, so I'm a dancer, so हमारे भरतनाट्यम में एक कहते हैं नवरसास बोलते हैं, that is 9 emotions. So what we are told that we should emote all the 9 emotions in different situations. So I tell my people that you should emote 9 emotions in your life also. कुछ छुपाने की जरूरत नहीं है, bottle up करने की जरूरत नहीं है. You should also express it out basically. So these are the things, when you read books, you get a lot of insightful that how you deal with your own emotions, how do you deal with other people's emotions as well. So ये चीजें help करती है. And so for a person like me who used to be hardcore, workaholic, and because of my travel and treks and all, I became little more human or more emotional. So when I came back I had taken a sabbatical for travel basically. So once I came back from that sabbatical, I got in that sabbatical journey, I learned a lot about human connections because I used to interact with a lot of humans as such. Because आप जब ट्रैक और ट्रैवल करते हो तो लोकल्स लोगों से बहुत मिलते हैं और वो बहुत सिंपल लाइफ, सादगी की लाइफ जीते हैं। तो आपको समझ में आता है कि यार आप इतनी सिटी में रह के अपनी लाइफ को इतनी कॉम्प्लेक्स क्यों बना रखा है, इतनी नेसेसिटीज क्यों ला लेके रखे हुई है, व्हाई आर वी हाइडिंग आवरसेल्व्स, दे आर सो ओपन सो सिंपल इन लाइफ, जो है वो सामने दिखता है। सो दैट्स हाउ योर लाइफ शुड बी, दैट why to carry that baggage अपने आपको, अगर आप lead a simple life, it will not carry a baggage in your head. It's easy to have good ideas, better ideas, and innovative ideas, so that you can you can be a learner in your life as well. So that's why I started behaving differently, or my perspective towards life or human experience changed. So I became more authentic to myself and to others as well. So जो जैसी मैं हूँ, I'm like that. So whether you see my stuff in social media, whether you see me interacting with people in my personal life or in my professional life, or my interactions with other forums and all, I'll be the same person. I do not if I'm happy, you can see me everywhere as the same as a person. So I don't hide it. I do not have I'm in a veil or something, or I do not have a separate life for my personal life or a professional. I do not keep I don't lead two different lives. So it helps me because I do not carry a baggage and I don't judge people. I've stopped judging people. I just started accepting people as they are, situation as they are. So because once you start accepting, automatically वो आपका mindset ही change होने लगता है. So you start looking at अगर issues है तब solutioning पे चले जाते हो, instead of focusing on only on the problems or only on the solution, you will try to look at from all the angles basically, ये problem भी है कि नहीं, solution भी है, इसकी solution जरूरत है कि नहीं. So those things changes basically किसी के लिए, and people around you will be more positive towards you because you try to give that vibe. So आपका when you change this perspective of being more authentic, काफी लोग आपके लोगों की तरफ से चले जाएंगे आपकी लाइफ से, काफी लोग, you will lose out people, you will lose out lot of materialistic things from your life, and materialistic attitude वाले लोग भी चले जाएंगे. But that is good for you because people, when they see your true self and people stay with you, they are the true people to be in your life, because they'll be happy when you are happy and they'll be sad when you're sad basically. So people will clap for you when you are doing something, and they'll feel as if they have done something new. So you should have that kind of a circle. जो आपका जो vibe है, आपका tribe create करता है, and the tribe should be in such a way that helps you motivate to move further. So अगर आपने कुछ किया तो उनको लगना चाहिए कि they have done it for themselves, and you should also feel the same, because when you feel happy for others, that vibe, that positivity comes into your life and you start attracting that positivity in your life. So law of attraction work करता है, and एक positive देखते तो दूसरा positive होने लगता है, ऐसे चेंज चलता रहता है. एंड ये मैं नहीं कहती कि नेगेटिविटी नहीं होगी, लॉट ऑफ नेगेटिव थिंग्स वुड हैपन. सो फॉर एग्जांपल, आज मेरे यहाँ पे मेरा कुकर फट गया, आई हैड अ शॉर्ट सर्किट एट होम एज वेल, माय लैपटॉप, ऑफिस लैपटॉप का चार्जर नहीं चल रहा है. ये नेगेटिव चीज है, बहुत सारी चीज, बट स्टिल आई वांटेड टू मेक इट अप फॉर दिस session. I had my work to finish. I got my office laptop charged in Chrome में जाके Chrome का जो शोरूम है वहां जाके किसी ने मेरे को चार्ज करके दिया. So कहीं ना कहीं सोल्यूशन निकल ही आता है. So we wanted to create a solution as well. So अगर आप negativity में focus करोगे, so negativity आएगी. So the question here is, how can one improve human connections? So human connections के लिए talk to people, be a listener basically. Start listening to people. When somebody tries to talk to you, just listen to them. Once you start listening to them, you become more empathetic and you start becoming grateful in your life कि या तो जो अच्छी बात कह रहे तो you will find you will be happy by listening to them, or if they're telling you their problems, you will say कि मेरे को ये problems तो नहीं है, at least somebody is looking up to me to resolve those problems. So slowly when you start interacting with people and listening to them, then I think your human connections will definitely improve. So that's एंड सो जैसे मैं वल्नरेबिलिटी के बारे में बात करी थी, पीपल गेट ओवरवेल्म्ड कि यार बहुत सारी चीजें करने को है, ये करना है, वो करना है. सो इफ यू गेट ओवरवेल्म्ड आल्सो, you become vulnerable. So try finding out things where you can prioritize things, you can focus on yourself basically, and stop being perfect in life. You cannot be perfect at everything. So that's a couple of things which helps you in dealing with vulnerability also. कि mindfulness का practice कर सकते हो कि being in the moment, enjoying the moment, being now, right now I'm there in this session, I'm reading about your comments, your questions here, so being there, so that will help me to be there in the this particular session and answer all your questions, and you'll also benefit from whatever questions you have or the knowledge you wanted to gain from this session as well. And being aware, being open to suggestions and being open to what is happening around you basically. अपनी कान वगैरह खुले रखोगे, अपनी चीजें खुले रखोगे, I mean, you will try to gain a lot of knowledge from what is happening around you as well. हम क्या करते हैं? We're only self-absorbed. आज के time में एक मोबाइल को लेके बैठ जाते हैं, it's they're all self-absorbed basically. So once you start coming out of those, taking some time out of your digital life, then probably human connections become better, and that's how your thoughts will change. Your things you will try to take out time for things basically. So yeah, so I have watched Brenny's speech on vulnerability, okay, Shivani, and not her books. Okay, read them. That they're I have a long way to go in being judgmental. Yeah, so when you stop judging people, na, it's then पता है वो burden हट जाता है like वो दिमाग से कि अरे इसने ऐसे क्यों किया, अरे करा होगा उसकी मर्जी है. So that's another. It will change because I earlier I used to judge people कि इसने क्या पहना है, क्यों पहना है, क्या खा रहे हैं, कहाँ से आए हैं, नॉर्थ से हैं, साउथ से, एक्सेंट से पता करते हैं, पता चल जाता है कहाँ से. बट when you start looking at as a person as they are, it's a very different experience altogether. Yeah, yeah, right, Shivani. Yeah, it comes from stereotypes. Yeah. So yeah, so this is what wanted to talk about Brene Brown's book. Basically, she talks about shame, courage, being brave and being courageous. That's what, and she's a storyteller as well. So and she's a there's another word she's known for basically. She's a courage builder. That's what people call her as well because she's helped a lot of people around the world to build that courage as well. And also she talks about that in today's digital transformation, courage skills are more important than coding skills. So yeah, so that's where I want to end the session as well. And if you have questions, you can ask. And if you want to know more about Brene Brown, I can tell more about her. When was the last time you did something for last time? Uh, Zipline. That was the last time. Zipline and any other authors like her. Yeah, you can read Oprah Winfrey's book. That is also good. She's a good. Her books are good, and also Sudha Murthy's books are good. And also there is Elizabeth Gilbert. Her books like Eat, Pray and Love, which is again a movie is also there. So that Julia Roberts ki there's a movie. It's based on India, Italy, and Bali, Indonesia. Basically, the three. That is also a nice book basically. Waiting for my own edition of that book of my life. Cool, Shivani. So I will tell people it will probably to Mumbai, Amritsar, and Rishikesh. Okay. So my favorite cities are Bangalore, Mumbai, and Delhi. So yeah. So I call Delhi because Delhi मेरा दिल is in Delhi. दिल्ली वाली हूँ तो Delhi मेरा दिल है. And Mumbai is because it's soul city, and Bangalore right now I have shifted to Bangalore. Bangalore is my my dream city or where my work is. So it's my brain is here. So so my heart, soul, and brain is here. So these are the three cities which I call as my close ones. Traveling is really vulnerable, yes. But yeah, once you start, well, you should try different kinds of travel. So because I took a sabbatical for a year to travel, so I did a group travel with just women to Bhutan. I did solo travel. I did travel with my mother. I traveled with my friends, family, and different kinds of travel. And the best travel is solo travel. So because in solo travel, you start alone from your place, but by the time you reach back home, you must have met so many strangers on the way that you're never alone. So best part is the solo travel. So because you go with that fear कि क्या होगा next, क्या मिलने वाला, वो surprise elements होते हैं, and it's beautiful. Once you do a solo trip and you're comfortable with that, then there's no looking back. So Geeta, Archana, Rajesh, any questions you guys have? Anything you want to know? So Dare to Lead is a good podcast, which is good, and there is Unlocking Us, which is currently being aired, is very nice, and she's been influenced. Brene Brown is influenced by Richard, Father Richard, basically. So I think there's some new episode which is coming on Father Richard. So you can listen to that as well. That's also good. So unlocking is all about she's interviewing different people and it bringing out the human aspect of each people so that people who are listening to it can actually learn to know how they can lead their life with courage and heart. So that's the main agenda of that unlocking us. So, so anyone, as I think we're done with questions. If you don't have any questions, we can end the session now. Hope you guys had a great time. I had a great time talking to you and answering your questions as well. Thank you, everyone.